about culture thing. Those who come from Africa or Kenya, they know we believe more in culture or beliefs that some of them, they don't make any sense to us at all. I'm gonna talk about one of the things I encountered in life. It is my saddest moment I went through when I lost my mom. This is very emotional to me. It makes me keep on thinking what happened next. Actually, for those of us who are born outside marriage, it makes us go through a lot. We really don't know what to do. So it happened like when I lost my mom in 2003, in the month of June. It was really emotional to us, her kids. We were crying, we were having a very hard time. But I'm the one who went through a lot, from culture thing, from beliefs. And these beliefs were mostly coming from my father's side. It was really hard. It was hard for me to bear. But I really took it hard. I had to try my best so that I don't feel like I'm left away. So Africans or Kenyans, Kenya from Western, the Luhya thing, please, some beliefs are there to break our hearts. Some beliefs will make us really forget or think our family are against us. Why don't we live this kind of beliefs, this kind of culture, the culture that makes someone lag behind, get emotional, feel that he or she doesn't belong to family anymore. So when I lost my mom, we were mourning, and the family of my father had to come. Not all of them, but only my grandma and my grandfather. But they had to make me follow the culture that I didn't or I don't like anymore. Yeah, it was hard for me. It is really hard when you lose a mother. Then someone tell you that you have to mourn your mother and you don't need to be there until they finish covering the whole grave. You have to leave before the grave is finished. It's really emotional. Children are there to mourn their parents. We have to do everything. The fact that that family is not where I was born, but that is my mother. The one whom I lost, it was my mother. Why do you make me move away? I have to be there. I have to see everything. For me to believe that my mom is gone forever, I have to see the whole grave being covered with soil so that I can believe. Families, Africans, Luhya, Kenya, please, let's do away with some culture. The culture that will make us get emotional. The culture that will never fade from us. Please, let's do away with it. And it is not me alone. My cousin has kids. And when she died, her kids has to go through the same emotional thing. I remember that time when they were burying my cousin. The kids, they were really small. I was really big when I lost my mom. So for me, it was like I have to find a way to bear with it. But my cousin kids were to be dragged out of the grave before it is full. The kids went away crying, and they have never come back to say how they are. We don't know. We really don't know what is going on. It is emotional. Let us not go through the culture that will impact very hard on our life. it makes me really start hating some family members just because of culture. I still can't believe that I had to be dragged out of the grave of my mom before it is fully covered. Sometimes I always feel like my mother is still alive because I was not there when the whole grave was covered. I had to move. Yeah? And this goes to the family of the fathers. Please, this culture is messing up our life. This culture will never make any great difference in our life. We have to forget some culture. Yes, we have some culture. They are good. We have to follow them. But the culture that is against our rights, I have a right to mourn my mom. I had a right to be there, finish the whole grave, mourn with my siblings. Yeah? But because of beliefs, the culture that has to be done away with, I had to move away. Don't do anything. Don't mix with other people. The African, the Luya from Kenya, please. This culture will never. So guys, it's really hard sometimes what children goes through family members' hands. You will never know until and yet you step inside their feet, or you are there, or you are in their life to see how they are going through. Because my life has never been the same from the time I buried my mom. And it always makes me think that sometimes families can kill us, or culture they impose on us will never make us be the same the way we used to be. It will never make children think that this family loves them. Because when you tell the child that move away, or you have to go and mourn your mother from far, when this kid has to be there and mourn her mother or his mother without being disturbed, it is something that the kid has to wake up seeing the grave of his or her mother, so that to be satisfied that my mother is gone, she will never come back, you know. Because I compare my case and I compare the case of my cousin kids. From the time these kids left, they have never come back even to say how they are, how they are going through. No one knows. And no one has ever followed them to see how they are moving, how they are progressing in life. You know? Me too, it's the same case. No one, after I buried my mom, no one followed me to find out how I am. But I thank God, because it happened when I'm a little bit big. I could understand some things. I could understand, or I could know how to do away with the emotional things. I could mix with my friends so that I forget those culture things. And I want to make a campaign so that those children who are in the same situation like me, or who have ever gone in the same situation like my cousins' kids and other children, we need to make a campaign so that this kind of culture, it will never be there again. We need to remove it. Kids have right to mourn their parents regardless of where the parent is being buried. If it is your father's home, yes, you have a right to mourn there. If it is your mother's home, you have a right to mourn there. If it is a place where your mother got married and you don't belong to that man's kids, you have a right to stay there, mourn your kids. Culture thing will always mess up our life. It is emotional, and it never move away from my mind. Because when I remember that thing, how I had to move out of the mom's grave before it is completely covered, it always makes move into my emotions. Yeah, it always make me break down and start crying, even when no one is disturbing me. I just think about it, and I feel like we are no longer kids anymore. When kids lose their parents, they have to be there, they have to mourn, they have to finish the rites of mourning their parents. After they can go, because that family is not theirs, then they can go after finishing to mourn. And they need to take time, because some of us, we need time to recover. And we have some who will recover immediately. So as we go through this, I just want to ask those people who are going through it or have ever gone through it, we need to make a campaign. We need to remove this culture that are impacting in our life, so that it will never happen to other children or other people who might think of going through or will go through about it. So Luhya thing, Luhya culture, Africans, let's forget about culture, the bad culture that is in our family, the bad culture that is in our life. We have to remove them. Thank you, my subscribers. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, like it, comment, and let me know what you think.